Pasadena Chamber of Commerce, and we are very excited to be here today for our Small Business Resource Fair. This is about our 4th year to do this event through the Pasadena Loves local program with our partnership with the Pasadena EDC. So we're so excited that it keeps growing and growing. Obviously, the rain kept some people away today, but we're very glad that you guys showed up today. So thank you so much. Together through this program, we can impact our local economy, create more jobs, and support our future growth. Our goal through the Pasadena Loves local program is to help small businesses such as yourself grow and thrive. We want to see you guys do amazing and take over Pasadena. So these programs are aimed to help you do those kind of things. So I want to thank every single person for being here today and investing your time to come and learn more. Thank our vendors around the room who are open to giving you those possibilities and opportunities. So thank you so much. Before we get started, I do want to thank a few of our sponsors for helping to make this event happen. It is my absolute pleasure to bring up from the Pasadena Economic Development Corporation, my friend Juliana Echevarria, to tell you some really exciting news about some things coming up in Pasadena. Julianne? Give it up for Julianne.
Thanks, Erin. Good morning, everyone. Thank y'all for being here again. Today, I'm here to tell you about 2 quick things. So we are the Pasadena Economic Development Corporation. We're a City of Pasadena department. We're funded by half a cent sales tax on every dollar spent here in Pasadena, and we invest that back into infrastructure projects, different programming, this partnership with the Chamber. So I want to show you. So we have information about our business enhancement program back at our booth here in the center. It is a reimbursement grant for any business in Pasadena wanting to do exterior work to their building. We will fund up to 50% of the cost, up to $20,000. So it's a great program. We have more information for you at our booth. Interested parties can, if you want to scan this QR code, it also gives you information on the guidelines, the digital application, a checklist of documents to kind of gather and get you ready for that process. Oh, let me leave it up there, sorry. And one more thing. Want to tell you guys that we're really excited about this new program that we just launched. It's Visit Pasadena, Texas. So this is a destination marketing program for the entire city. We know our small businesses are the lifeblood of the city, of our economy, and we're hoping that this program will really be beneficial to you guys to help shine a spotlight on all the different assets, businesses, restaurants, everyone, and show our surrounding cities and cities all over the state, hopefully, of what we have here in Pasadena and why you should be here to see us. So our logo is here, Big Heart, Bold Fun, is the kind of the story and the message that we're putting out, because this is a big community with a big heart, and we have a lot of fun here. So our vision is to elevate Pasadena's profile by highlighting culture, our assets, through our strategic partnerships, hopefully with you guys. Our mission is to promote travel and tourism that supports our economic growth, our cultural heritage, and a quality of life for our business and residents. Another QR code here. We are launching our website at the end of the summer. So we have one now. It's currently under construction, but you can find all of our social media pages there. Our plan is to saturate social media and all of our community with this new initiative, and we're excited to work with you. So if you haven't already stopped by our booth, please come and see us. I've got Rick and Karina with me as well to meet you guys. So I hope you enjoy today's programming. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julianne. One of the things, I'm going to go back to her slide here because it's really cool. That logo you see in the top left corner, at the EDC and the city and the chamber, we are so passionate about working with students at Pasadena ISD, San Jacinto College, UHCL. We've got all 3 of our interns here today. I'm sure you've got to meet them. Luis, Maria, and Athena. Where are you guys at? They're probably working. Hi, Athena. Let Athena take your picture. Maria and Luis probably checked you in, but our students are so awesome. And the EDC actually worked with a Pasadena ISD student to help create that logo. And I think that's really, really cool. I think it looks great. Y'all did a great job. And we're working with a student at Pasadena ISD. They're actually going to design the cover of our annual magazine. So these students are so talented. The reason I say that is as a small business, it's probably hard to have a lot of employees because employees cost a lot of money. These interns are ready to work. And most of the time, they're smarter and more creative than I am. So if you guys need any connections to get connected with interns from the high school or San Jac UHCL, they have amazing programs and they can really come in and they're just amazing. So let us know if you have any interest in learning more. Want to thank Chick-fil-A Pasadena for providing a free breakfast today. Thank you, Belinda, and your crew back there. Yes. I want to thank Community Transformation Church, Nick, Beth, Abigail, Nathan. You guys rock. Thank you so much for your partnership. We have a couple of door prizes, one from Chick-fil-A and one from Chevron Pasadena that we're going to do towards the end. So if you haven't put your card in the bowl, I think it's now been transferred back to the Pasadena table. They're waving over there. Put your card in. If you don't have cards, you can write it, and we'll do those door prizes probably about 10:20. Want to thank our diamond level members at the Pasadena Chamber. It's important to showcase these guys because they invest through the Chamber at the highest level, and we always want to say thank you to them. And then, of course, if you're not a member of the Pasadena Chamber, we have to ask, why not? We do events like this. We have connections, resources, educational workshops that can help your business continue to grow. So see one of our friends at the Pasadena Chamber if you want to become a member today. These are the vendors that are around the room today. We thanked them earlier. You're going to hear from some of them here in a minute, but after the panel discussion this morning, we want you guys to stay and keep networking, keep learning, and learn how to get contracts with some of these amazing businesses. And so now it is my absolute pleasure to bring up my friend, Elizabeth Charles. She is the Outreach and Marketing Specialist from the U.S. Small Business Administration, Houston District Office. And she's going to kick us off. Before she does, I want to take an awesome group photo from the stage of all you guys. So everybody look here.
Smile.
Now cheer. 'Cause cheering
Thank you so much, Erin. We appreciate you. And so today we are so excited to be able to be here. Good morning, everyone. Yes, we're going to go ahead and bring up our wonderful panelists for today. You're going to get to hear some amazing information from them so that way you can go home and take this and put it into practice for your business, okay? So as Erin mentioned, my name is Elizabeth. I am an outreach and marketing specialist for the Small Business Administration's Houston office, your local district office. In case that you didn't know, we cover the 32 counties that surround Houston. So yes, we are here for you, boots on the ground, ready to help you learn about all of the wonderful things for your small business. So whether you're looking to start, grow, expand your business, we are here for all of those different facets, all right? And today, we have all of our wonderful panelists with us from all over who are going to be talking to you about contracting and certifications. So before we get started, how many of you are already in business? Perfect. How many of you are already doing contracting? Okay, so those hands should be a lot more and a lot higher. So what we're going to do today is give you some of the resources that you need to know so that way you can be able to start that contracting process, all right? So let's kick off the conversation by getting to know who's on the stage, right? So who better to introduce themselves than themselves? So we're going to go ahead and start with you. Okay. I'm sorry, what's your name?
my name. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ida Benson. I am a business opportunity specialist with the Small Business Administration here in the Houston area. I primarily assist with individuals who want to sell their product and services to the federal government.
Thank you, Ida. I'm sorry, sir? Sir?
Oh, hi. Good morning. I'm Rob Carlson with the Small Business Development Center at San Jacinto College. We are funded by the SBA, the state of Texas, to provide no-cost business advising to small businesses and people that want to start small businesses. I've been on the job now for about 6 years. I love it. It's the most rewarding work I've had throughout my career.
Thank you. Sir?
Thank you. My name is Ron Little. I'm with the WBEA Women's Business Center, and we primarily help entrepreneurs with workshops, trainings, one-on-one consultations to either start their business or expand on a business that they already have, in addition to certify women-owned businesses as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And so today we have two of our wonderful resource partners, the Small Business Development Center and one of our women's business centers. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we also have in the room SCORE Houston as well. All of these resource partners are there to be able to help you at no cost for your business, whether you're planning, growing, expanding, so no matter what phase of business that you are in. And so today, we're excited to talk to you about certifications, contracting, and the information that you need to know. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with you, Ida. For those in the audience, what is government contracting, and how can small businesses actually benefit from getting into the government contracting space?
So government contracting is basically selling your product and services to the government, and that could be your local city government, the federal government, or the state of Texas. So essentially, that is what government contracting is. It's just like, you know, if you were selling to the private sector. What was the second part of your question?
I love it. And how can small businesses actually benefit from it?
Well, small business can benefit because the government is a customer for you, period. There are goals for selling to the small business community. For the federal government, it is 23% of all federal dollars flow into the small business community. For the past 9 years, the federal government has made or exceeded that goal, which basically equates to about $300 billion that flows into, no, I'm sorry, $160 billion that flows into the small business community. So as a small business owner, you can be a part of those dollars that flow into that community. There are several different ways. I'm sorry, what was the next part?
How can they benefit from it?
How can they benefit? Dollars, increase sales. I mean, essentially, that's what you're looking at, increasing your sale, increasing your customer base, so yes. Mm-hmm.
And who doesn't like money, right? 23% is a big piece of that pie, all right? Every year, the federal government invests billions, with a B, not millions, billions of dollars for small businesses. And so it's important for you to know that the world's largest buyer, buying all kinds of goods and services, is the federal government, all right? So if you didn't know that, there's also local governments, cities, municipalities, school districts, there's state government, as Ida mentioned, state of Texas. Have you ever heard of the Texas Department of Transportation? Yeah, those dollars could go to you as a small business owner. And so one of the questions that I have, I'm gonna go on to San Jacinto College SBDC. You know, as a small business, I hear government contracting, and sometimes that could be daunting, right? And so it's important for our small businesses in the room to understand what kind of one-on-one help or training can the Small Business Development Center offer for someone that is totally new to this space. I don't know anything, I'm green, I want to understand, what can you do to help me prepare myself as a small business owner?
Thank you. When you're thinking about having your business in government contracting, there are two things you really have to focus on. You have the out-and-out business side of what you do, and then you have the government contracting side. That entails many times having the proper certifications, accounts, registrations that you need in order to do business with whatever entity it is, whether it be the federal government, the city of Houston, or city of Pasadena, whatever it is. At the SBDC, we address both sides. The SBDC, primarily we work on the business side. However, we, due to the exploding demand for people learning about government contracting, we have cooperated with the Apex Accelerator, which is an organization funded by the federal government to help small businesses get into government contracting. We're very fortunate in this area that we have an Apex Accelerator in Houston. In fact, the SBDC regional office and the Apex office are co-located in the same building. We're on the 9th floor, they're on the 10th floor. So we work together a lot. One of the things we do for people who are brand new to contracting is we hold a 4-part workshop called Gov Strategy. This Gov Strategy, it's 4 weeks. You meet once a week, 3 hours a day, and it uses the concept of what I'd call a flipped classroom. It's not where you go to the classroom, you hear about, you get lectured, or you learn about what it is. In a flipped class, you get your assignment, you do it on your own, and then you come together to discuss it, and we hold this monthly. So far, all of the Gov Strategy workshops have been held in person at our regional office. There is some hope that in the near future, an online version of it will be available. If you're new to government contracting and you want to get some of the basics, I would recommend that. Am I okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
I'll give you 30 more seconds.
Okay. Okay, and then another 2 minutes after that, right? Let me just make you aware of the situation at both the SBDC and Apex Accelerator about government contracting. Since there are so many people that want to get into government contracting, Apex Accelerator, who's the one will really work with you to get on the government contracting side, getting your certifications, getting your capability statement, all of that. The demand is so high that they cannot meet with everybody that wants to meet with them. So what they have started doing now is they have required all people new to contracting to successfully complete the Gov Strategy program before they will assign you to work with one of their advisors. Their advisors are great people. When we have our regional meetings, we mix with their people, they mix with us, we share stories. They're all tremendous people. I've had them help some of my clients who were applying for a NASA contract. So they've been very helpful. Now, aside from the in-person things, on our SBDC website, we have a resources list. One of the resources you can go look at is for government contracting. It's called Government Jump Station. You can go there and look, and it has a number of things. If you're a startup business wanting to get into contracting, if you're an existing business wanting to get into contracting, if you want to improve your performance, it has resources for you to look at. So I would encourage you, if you're considering getting into government contracting, that's a great place you can go to look. Also, if you do want to look into it further, then our Gov Strategy class would be a good place for you to go. And
Awesome.
I better stop.
Thank you so much. Obviously, you can tell that there are a ton of resources for contracting, whether it's going to be local, state, federal contracting. There are a ton. All right, so I'm just going to caveat this entire rest of this conversation by saying you're probably not going to learn everything that you need to in this panel discussion. We're great and we're going to give you a ton of nuggets of wisdom. But keep in mind and consider that each one of these organizations that is sitting here, SBA, WBEA, SBDC, we all have our own webinars, workshops, where we go much more in depth with these topics and discussions, all right? And so it's important for you to understand that as you're getting into this space, that there are resources out there, and we'll talk a little bit more about where to actually just get started if this is a lot, all right? Because we know this can be, overwhelming sometimes, but that's why we're here, to be able to help maneuver you and guide you through the process. So speaking of guidance, we're gonna go on to WBEA. So the Small Business Administration, we have certifications for small businesses, right? So we have various different types of certifications. The WBEA's Women's Business Center actually assists with one specific certification that is outside of the SBA arena. And so our SBA certifications are to do business with the federal government, all right? But the WBEA, let's talk about that a little bit. You guys have information on a certification through the WBENC. So what is that WBE certification, and how is it different from the Small Business Administration certifications or certifications that are done at, let's say, for example, the city of Houston?
Yeah, so the WBA is one of 13 regional partners across the country that are authorized to certify women-owned business for the Women's Business Enterprise National Council, which we call WBENC. The certification is called the WBE certification, and it is primarily focused on certifying women-owned businesses. It's a nationally recognized certification, so if you get it here, you can use that certification anywhere in the country. Another difference between that certification and SBA is that there is a application processing fee for the certification. It's good for 1 year, and you have to certify each year. And also that it's also primarily focused on working with corporate businesses through their supplier diversity program. So I think those are the main differences that are separated from the SBA ones.
Can you talk a little bit about that certification and in terms of pricing, and then also getting certified as a WASB through the WBE?
Yeah, so within our certification process, the application process, when you apply for the WBE certification, you also have the ability to apply for the SBA WOSB certification as well.
Which is?
The Women-Owned Small Business
We speak in acronyms.
There's a ton of acronyms. And in addition to that, we also are authorized to fast-track applications for the City of Houston and the Hub as well, once you get approved for the WBE certification. And the application processing fee is based off your business revenue. So depending on where you're at and your revenue, there is no minimum business experience, no minimum business size. The really main requirement is that your business is at least minimally owned, 51% controlled and managed by one or more women.
Awesome. And before we move on, I wanted to touch base. Can you just elaborate a little bit on understanding? So one of the things that we want to touch base on is understanding where to find resources for more information about this. And so I'm going to ask each one of you guys, starting with Ron. I want to get WBE certified. Do you guys have anything that will help me understand that process? Do you have events? Do you have, what does that look like?
So the main thing we have is we have a monthly workshop that we hold. It's how to get certified. We hold that every first Friday. Next month, it'll be on the second Friday because it's our Independence Day on the first Friday. But every first Friday, we have our workshop. They go over the certification process. They tell you what documents you need, how to apply, the benefits, and then you have the opportunity to ask any questions that you need. In addition to that, if you still need more assistance, we have one-on-one consultations you can register for, where they will help you with the process, go over your documents before you apply, and make sure you have everything in order, because it is a really extensive process. They ask for a lot of information, so we want to make sure that when you do hit that submit button, you have all your documents in order. Some other things that we do, we just recently had our yearly conference, and within this conference, we hold a lot of breakout sessions regarding procurement opportunities. We have corporate business matchmaking, we have corporate roundtables, we have networking opportunities to meet with our corporate members. We really try to get you into the room with these corporates so that you have the opportunity to present your business, yourself, and form strategic relationships.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ron. I appreciate that. And so, speaking a little bit of networking, I'm going to ask the next question to Rob and Ron. So we're talking a lot about contracting, about certifications, about resources for small businesses. And so when we're looking at a small business and they're getting into this arena, they're getting their feet wet, so to speak, right? What should a new business that's coming into this arena first focus on? Are they focusing on improving their internal systems? Are they focusing on networking, as Ron had mentioned? Or are they focusing on certifications? I want to get certified right out the jump.
Preface this by saying it's my personal opinion. I highly recommend starting with networking. And it may not be the networking you're thinking of, okay, I need to go out and meet the buyers. No, I'd go out and meet people who are already in the business of government contracting. Talk to them. Find out what it entails. Find out if it's really for you. Sometimes you hear the billions, $160 billion the government buys, you say, I got to get a piece of this. Well, it's not for everybody. So to me, networking is going out, talk to people who are in it, find out what it's really like, and see if that's something you want to do. So to me, that's where I would start. Once you do that, then you could change the tone of your networking. If you've made the decision, I do want to get into it, then you can start talking to people about best practices. Now, I wouldn't talk to somebody that's selling the same products you are, because if you talk to me about that and I know you're a competitor, I'll give you real good answers, right?
I love that. Thank you so much, because that helps a lot with when small businesses are looking at this. As we talked about, B2G, business to government, is its own arena. And so in order for you to decide whether or not you want to get into this arena, it is important to talk to others who have been there, who have done that, who have been able to experience what that feels like, may be able to give you some information and guidance that a lot of our resources may not be able to, right? They'll give you another perspective of it to be able to help you in guiding. And so, Ida, one of the questions that we want to talk about is, startup businesses. I know a lot of the businesses here, they're in business. So those that are in the startup phase, those that maybe, let's get a show of hands. 1 to 5 years in business. Okay, 5 to 10. More than 10? Okay, so most of you are less than 5 years. Some of you are in the 5 to 10, and those that are more than 10, congratulations. That is an amazing feat to be more than 10 years in business. So let's talk about small businesses in general. I'm not going to stick to startups because we do have a variety of different types of businesses in the room. So can these very small businesses, let's see, 1 to 10 employees, okay, more than 10 employees. Okay, so 1 to 10 employees, smaller businesses, right? Can they still pursue government contracts? Is there a certain size or experience that's necessary to be able to pursue these types of contracting opportunities? To be able to get a slice of that pie, what are these small businesses, what should they be doing?
So when you think about, okay, I'm a small business owner and I only have one employee or I have two employees, the reality is that the number of employees really depends on what your industry is. If you're IT and you're providing IT services, you don't necessarily need a ton of employees to provide services to the federal government. You can literally be any size business. We have anywhere from sole ownership to small business who have 100 employees. It really just depends on whether or not you can provide that product and service to the federal government. And that's really based on your industry. So don't believe that, oh, well, it's just me, I'm this really tiny business. If you have the capacity to provide to any other business, then you have the capacity to provide to the federal government. It just really depends on whether or not you sell a product or service that the federal government is going to buy directly from you, or would you be looking at subcontracting through someone else? So the real question is whether or not the federal government will buy your product or service. When do they buy their product? When do they buy your product or service, and how do they buy your product or service that you're looking at? And we talked a little bit about, I know Rob mentioned doing networking. When it comes to the federal government, market research is extremely important because you want to figure out what agency buys your product or service. Although the federal government does buy everything, every agency doesn't buy the same thing. And so you want to make sure that when you start marketing to these agencies, that you are actually marketing to the agency that is going to purchase from you. So market research in federal is extremely important because you want to know who buys your product or service, where do they buy it at? Because if you're in construction, you know, although the DOD is building a new facility, it may be in California and you're in Texas. So it would be very difficult for you to compete with construction companies in California for that product. But if it's NASA and NASA at the Johnson Space Center and you're in construction, then you would be in a prime location for that. So really figuring out, you know, exactly where would you fit in with federal contracting and what that looks like for your company.
I love that. I love that so much. And I hope that that didn't take away my answer for the last question here, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it anyway. So, this is for every single one of our panelists, all right? So make it good, make it great, because this is the pearl of wisdom that everyone's going to be taken away from today, all right? So, if a business is overwhelmed as to where to start, what would you suggest as a first action item? This is the first thing you should be doing to be able to get into this arena. Ida, go.
Go, okay. I would suggest that you contact one of your local resource partners. They can answer the questions for you. They can, you know, clear a lot of things up that you may be confused about. And they also do it free of charge. These are essentially your tax dollars at work. And so I would say contact a resource partner. If you go to SBA.gov, you can look up resource partners. We have multiple resource partners here today that you can make an appointment with to go in and have a conversation. And whatever the next steps in your business looks like, they can help you address that. So that would be my best advice.
Rob.
Okay. Actually, Monday morning, I was sitting at my desk, and I gained an insight, which I think is perfect. I opened up a Dove dark chocolate. You know, they always have the little sayings inside. I'm in the market for a new phone, by the way. No. And this one said, small steps can cover miles. Walk at your own pace. And I think that's very important, whether you're looking at government contracting, starting a new business, you're going into a new area. Walk at your own pace, because it can be overwhelming. And if you say, well, so-and-so in 6 months, they had $2 million in contracts. Okay, that's so-and-so walking at their pace. Maybe my pace is in 6 months, I'll have, you know, 50,000 in contracts. I'd be thrilled, personally. So anyway, that's my advice. Can I make a plug for somebody that's not up on here?
Sure. I like shameless plugs.
Okay, this is a shameless plug, and I have to tell you this story. I had a person come to me, wanted to get into government contracting. He wanted to go after federal contracts. And as we talked about it, he says, I really need a mentor. As soon as he said that word, I thought of SCORE. SCORE, they're not up here, they're over there. They are wonderful. So when he said mentor, I said, let me show you where you need to go to find a mentor who will have years and probably decades of experience in government contracting. So we went on my computer, we went to the SCORE website. I showed him how he could find a mentor. He went off and did the research, and he connected with a mentor. About a month later, I contacted him. He says, the guy's been great. He told me, don't try going into federal contracting since you're brand new. He says, go for local contracting. He gave me ideas. He says, I've already got my first contract.
Woo! Yes!
So, thank you, SCORE.
Those are actual dollars being provided to small businesses. Thank you so much, Rob, for sharing that. Ron, pearl of wisdom, drop it.
I would say sign up for our business one-on-one consultations. Sign up for one of our workshops. Get any questions that you have answered, and figure out what your next step is.
Thank you so much. My last pearl of wisdom to each one of you is do what you are doing right now. Go to events. Go and understand more about these processes from people who know them firsthand. And one of the beautiful things that you have in this room right now is every single one of these booths that are around you. They all have opportunities for you to be able to help you in bettering your business in one shape, form, or another. All right? My shameless plug is, of course, I'm here representing the Small Business Administration. Our booth is right here, right in front of the stage. You can always come to us and find out how to find your local resource partners, how to figure out how to start the government contracting process. We have a ton of QR codes that you can scan and get that information here today so that you can walk away with your next plan of action. Visit these booths, talk to them, get their business cards, get that information, all right? And also, we want to just give a round of applause to our wonderful panelists for today. Didn't they do a great job, y'all? Great job. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this wonderful conversation. I will see you guys definitely at another conversation. I know this very well because we all have webinars and workshops that go a lot deeper into these topics, right? But the show is not over. We have two wonderful guests that are going to be here to talk to you a little bit more about how to do business with them, how to secure contracts with them. Do you guys want to learn a little bit more about how to secure contracts with anyone? All right, well, specifically right now, I am pleased to bring up to our stage Ms. Carlicia Wright, the Chief People Officer from Port Houston. Have you guys ever heard of Port Houston? Yeah, so Carlicia Wright will be here. She'll be talking to you a little bit about that. Thank you guys so much for having us today.
Good morning, everyone. Are you guys finding it resourceful, the information that you're receiving? Well, I hope to continue to do that. Well, it's truly a pleasure to be here with you today at the Pasadena Chamber Small Business Resource Fair. On behalf of Port Houston, I'd like to thank the Chamber for organizing this impactful gathering and for giving Port Houston the opportunity to serve as a sponsor and a partner. I'm really excited because you heard all of the technical assistance and you heard from different partners. I'm excited because I will be introducing a small business. But before I do that, I just want to give you a little bit background about Port Houston's history and partnership with the Chamber. We have a long-standing relationship with Pasadena Chamber of Commerce. We value our seat on the board. I want to acknowledge Natasha Ainsworth. Where are you, Natasha? Wave your hand. Where's she? Oh, there she is. Stand up. I can't see you, so everyone sees. Natasha Ainsworth works in our strategic sourcing division, and so reach out to her, and I'll introduce another staff member later on. She serves on the board of the Chamber, and so we're really, really committed to working with the Chamber. The Chamber plays a critical role in promoting economic development and community growth to ensure the prosperity of Pasadena's businesses and citizens. The mission aligns perfectly with Port Houston's strategic priorities. Together, we champion local opportunities, grow the maritime workforce, and expand supplier diversity, and strengthen the talent pipeline that fuels our region's success. The reason, I appreciate the panel before, and we talked about opportunity. This work matters because Port Houston impact is significant in our region, and we recognize that. The Houston Ship Channel is the nation's #1 waterway for cargo, generating more than 1.5 million jobs in Texas alone. And a lot of those jobs are fueled by small businesses like yourselves, so give yourselves a round of applause. We're a #1 container terminal in the Gulf, the 5th largest in the U.S., and we're growing with nearly $2 billion in planned and capital investments, which is an ambitious effort. And so for those small businesses that facilitate construction and operations, those could be opportunities for you to participate in working with Port Houston. The real engine behind our port success is our people and our partners, especially small businesses like yourselves. You help keep our supply chain strong and our communities thriving. That's why inclusive sourcing and small business development are so important to us. In 2024 alone, Port Houston awarded more than $181 million to over 500 small, minority, and women-owned businesses. And we recently surpassed our $1.1 billion in cumulative awards through our small businesses. We're proud of this momentum, but we know we can do even more. And so part of, you heard all of the technical assistance, it actually does work. Port Houston, we established our small business program in 2002. We evolved it in 2021 and added minority and women businesses to the program. And we're really, really committed to making sure that small businesses are successful. And as the panelists shared, sometimes it could be overwhelming and daunting. And so one of the things that we do after you register with Port Houston to do business, so you register as a vendor to do business with Port Houston, our certification is what I call a passive certification. And so if you're certified with any of the entities that you heard up here today, or the City of Houston, or other partners like the Houston Minority Supplier Development Council, essentially if you're certified with the state of Texas, anyone, we take that certification and then we enroll you. You have to initiate it, but we enroll you into our certification program so that you start to get notices for business opportunities with Port Houston. But one of the things that we like to do, we talked about the technical assistance, and so we offer technical assistance, but to really strengthen the partnership with small businesses so that it is not daunting, that it's not overwhelming, we have a program called Opportunity U. And so I want Latoria, who's sitting in the back, Latoria Reed, oversees the Opportunity U program. It's a 10-week technical assistance program. It's a training program. It's to build your capacity and help you navigate contracting opportunities with Port Houston. And it's really, I'm up here talking, but really the proof is in the pudding. And so this program helps businesses build their knowledge and capacity to win. And so I'm honored to introduce someone. So I didn't want to just come up here and talk about Port of Houston, we do this, and throw numbers at you. I wanted to show you the proof is in the pudding. And so I'm really excited about the gentleman that I'm going to introduce, Mr. Stanley Holland. He's the president of A1 Mobile Fleet Wash and Detail Services. He participated in Opportunity U, Cohort 3, and we're now at Cohort 7, and you could be in Cohort 8, so reach out to Latoria in the back to learn more. Since he's been in Opportunity U, that 10-week technical assistance program, he has earned 3 contracts with Port Houston. Applause, right? His story shows exactly what's possible when small businesses are given the tools and opportunities to grow, and that's what we like to do at Port Houston. And so before I close, I want to encourage every small business owner and entrepreneur here today to stop by our booth, connect with Latoria or connect with Natasha. She's also a resource. Meet our team, learn about our procurement process, discover how you can partner with us. And so without further ado, because I'm up here throwing out numbers, I'm putting the proof in the pudding. So come up here, Mr. Stanley Holland, and share your success story and share, just how you navigate it with Port Houston. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Who wants some government money? Raise your hands. I'm Stan Holland, president of A1 Mobile Fleet Wash and Detail Service, also Prime Elevator Corp. We're a Hub certified firm on both spectrums, SBE, MBE, so forth. And I've been fortunate enough. I was a part of the Opportunity U program. I would say I currently hold contracts with Metro, contracts with the Port, contracts with the City of Houston, and I'd like to say that the Port definitely has been very supportive in helping me cross all my T's, dot all my I's, and also after I was awarded the contract, you know, in support in answering questions and making sure that I have all the necessary tools to be successful. I would encourage everybody here to try to get a part of some of these cohorts that are around town. They're great knowledge, but they're also great opportunities. My first contract with the Port did not come until I was with that class. And one of the assignments was to take an actual bid and, you know, submit and see if you could win. Well, to my surprise, I won. So here I am, and I currently have about 15 vending machines at the Port of Houston, and I also have the pressure washing contract that maintains and keeps clean all of the maintenance vehicles and also all of the executive vehicles for the Port of Houston. Carlicia has been very vital in, you know, communication, making sure that we get paid on time, if we have any issues, and helping us sort through all of the cracks and issues that might arise. And it's just been a very positive experience. So as far as government contracting, just make sure you read the contract thoroughly. You want to give your best value, best price, but you also want to make sure your supporting documents are all fully completed, from your Hub subcontracting plan, getting your insurances in together. Government contract can be very profitable. It also can be very challenging, so make sure you're up for the challenge. And I would say the biggest thing is just make sure you deliver quality work. Your reputation will follow you your entire career in this city. So if you're doing quality work and you're putting out positive energy, it will be reciprocated and customers will start reaching out to you. Just make sure your team is embodying and also displaying what you're trying to put out there for your customers. So if there's anything I can do to help, I'm full of knowledge. I'm able to give it away. I don't have no problem. I'm not a gatekeeper. So if I could assist anybody here in their journey, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you, Stanley. Also, what a nice suit. Way to dress good today. Love it. Thank you so much to our panel, and we are so appreciative to our partnership with Port Houston. Before we let you guys get back up, have some really exciting news and a really special speaker here with us today. How many of you know that the World Cup is coming to Houston in 2026? Yes. This brings billions of dollars to our economy. The Super Bowl only brings millions. World Cup brings billions. So we have someone very special today. Maria Duran from the Harris County Houston Sports Authority is going to come up here for just a few minutes and tell you guys how you can get in on the action with the World Cup. Please help me welcome Miss Maria.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Well, first of all, thank you very much to Aaron and the Chamber for the invitation. We're very excited to be here. So when you think of sports, I don't know that you always think about the economic impact behind it, but at Harris County Houston Sports Authority, that's one of the things that's always on our mind. How can we make sure that these different sporting events that we bring into town are making an impact and are staying here in the Houston area? So our organization not only manages the facilities for the major sporting venues here in Houston, but we also attract and bring major sporting events. I'm sure you all have heard of, the Super Bowl, the NCAA Final Four. We just had the College Football Playoff National Championship last year. And then there's quite a few other events that are around the corner this summer. Just to kind of give you a general view of what we work on, we also have the AAU Junior Olympic Games during the summer, followed by the National Battle of the Bands, then the Texas Bowl at the end of the year, the World Baseball Classic early next spring, and then World Cup in the summer. So that is just what's happening in the next 12 months, and that's where there's so much opportunity. So a couple of years ago, we rolled out our vendor program, Buy Houston vendor program, that works very similar to what Port Houston is doing. We actually have a database where different businesses that are kind of in that event space that offer products, services, everything from security to transportation to florists to special gifts. There's a lot of big and small things that we need to in order to put on these events. Those are the kind of vendors that we're looking for. And so if you register for our database, then we connect you with the opportunities through our different planning partners. Our planning partners being the likes of FIFA for World Cup or AAU for the Junior Olympic Games. And so, for us, it's very important to be in these spaces so that we can connect with all of you. We can let you know what we have coming up, and so that you can also take a look at the program that we have and see if that's the right fit for you. Right now, the main qualifications that we're looking for is that your company have at least 3 years, be operating for at least 3 years, that you have everything in order and are able to function, right? You have a company that's been operating and is able to operate here in the Texas area and that has an office in Houston or Harris County. And I mean, everything else is, I'm here to answer all your questions, and we really want to invite you to be a part of all of this. We definitely need everybody to activate. I think one of the wonderful things that I heard, at the start of the event is what the EDC is doing, and really making Pasadena just a much bigger attraction. I think that's great. That's what we want to hear from our end, because especially for World Cup, we know that not everybody will be within the 610 area. I mean, this is a huge event that's coming into our city, and they will be all over the city. And so this is definitely the time for small business to activate, to really think about, who is coming, how can I prepare, how can I make sure that I'm also working with the chamber, with the different management districts, with everybody, in order to make sure that we are really highlighting all of the wonderful stuff that's happening in our backyard. And so, as a Pasadena resident, I'm very happy to be here to be representing. And like I said, we want to invite all of you to be a part of our vendor program. So please stop by, and I would love to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria. Maria's booth is back there. That illustration, those are done locally, right? The astronaut, so for each hosting city, does their own artwork. That's really cool. Thank you. All right, y'all. We are going to have all of our vendors here till about 10:30. So you have, I think, about an hour still to go and network. If you haven't put your business card in the back, guys back there, girls, go put your business card in there. We're going to do the drawing about 10 o'clock. Do want to thank our Pasadena Chamber team. We have some rock stars working at it, our ambassadors, our volunteers, our interns. Thank you guys so much. Community Transformation Church, Chick-fil-A Pasadena, and of course, we are so honored and appreciative for our partnership with the Pasadena EDC. We couldn't do these types of events for you guys without that partnership. So one more thing, raise your hand again if you've received a government contract. I know there was a couple of you before there. Well, Ron said to network with him, so I guess they're going to make a mad dash to you. So I do want to do some video testimonials. So if you've had a good experience or anything like that, I'd love to get a quick video testimonial for you. So I'll be running around with my camera here in a minute. So at this time, I want to dismiss everybody to go and mingle and network with the vendors. Thank you so much for being here today.